got a chance to see the new Rami Malek movie, The Amateur. Let's talk about it right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I am your host, Frank Zanka. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, we got some stuff going on. But before we get started, remember to give me a like, give me a subscribe, share this video out there. And of course, if you can subscribe, please do ring that bell ding ding, and you'll get notified about when I drop videos daily. I am going to be starting on a film in about a week or so, so I probably will be dropping off that daily routine for a couple of weeks. I know. But it's going to be fun. I'll be happy to get back on set. And if you'd like to read anything that I've written, then you can just go to Amazon.com and type in my name, Frank Zanka. You'll see my sci-fi quadrilogy, Destiny Aurora, that was also made into a board game and RPG. It's also on Audible. It's also been made into a graphic novel, which is probably on Amazon as well. And then I have my fantasy novel, Tales of Ravenor the Iron Witch. There's also a horror book up there, like a Sixth Sense ghost story called The Awakening. And then we have my true life biography called Escape from Berlin. It's a World War II story. And then I am working on a new book called Battle for the Ruby Slippers. And I'm working on a new comic that we're going to be releasing here shortly on Kickstarter. I'm starting to build it now, but it probably won't be ready for a little bit and after the movie's completed at the end of the month. And that is called Fairy Tales of Terror. It's going to be fun. All right, so let's talk about The Amateur. The Amateur doesn't actually come out until next week at the time of this recording. And this is a spy movie that it's just like a spy revenge movie that I was looking forward to greatly. And so when I saw this pop up, even though I just gone to the movies yesterday, usually I don't go back-to-back movies, but it was the only one playing. It was only playing that one time. And the theater was full. I mean, completely full, like sold out full. And it wasn't like it was a discounted price or it was free or anything like that. It was a full-price film. And for it being full, that means that there's a lot of people that are very interested in seeing this film, which is great. Because the theaters need that influx. Because as you know, I think theaters were kind of betting on a new Disney movie, meaning Snow White, and that has crashed and burned. The Snow White is already in the back of the house already. It's playing in tiny theaters already. That movie's gone. There was more people in the Jason Statham movie than in that one, because I walk around the theater and see what's, who's in, how many people are in each theater. So this one was packed. And at 6 o'clock, too. It wasn't even like it's an 8 o'clock or anything like that. So it was more of an afternoon movie. And again, I was looking forward to it. I think it looked like it was fun. Rami Malek's not my favorite actor in the world, but he's good. And then Rachel Brosnahan, I figured that she'd have a smaller role because you find out in the trailer that it's a revenge story because she's killed. So the only way for that to happen is if she has a smaller role. And we see her in the beginning, and they really push that they have a really good marriage. And, so we could feel for him. I think that his reaction to her death, I thought that was all done very, very well. Now, this director, his name is something Hawes, James Hawes. He is a TV director. So, and I think that was detrimental to this film, having a TV director in here. Some TV directors can make the leap, and some cannot. And in my opinion, he cannot. And so he's done stuff like Raised by Wolves, Snowpiercer, Black Mirror, The Alienist. He has some good credits behind him, but they're all TV. Every single one. So, and the reason I say that is because TV has a different pace than film. With TV, you can go to a slower pace because people can pause it, people can whatever, have things going on in the background. If it's a slow-paced thing, nobody really complains, especially like the ones that I've just spoke about. However, you're doing a spy movie. And if you have a slow burn with a spy movie, you tend to about lose people. So that was my other problem, is that I was in a packed theater, and a packed theater means more cell phones. And in a slower movie means more cell phones. The guy next to me was like 60 years old, and every 15 minutes he'd be taking his phone out. I put the footrest up. I literally turned on my side as if I was sleeping, so I could just not, because I really just didn't feel like getting into a fight today. I could have taken him, but that's beside the point. I really don't want to try to get arrested again at a movie theater. And then the woman in front of, I don't know what was happening behind me, because I was very far up, but I was like the third row back, like I was in one of the handicap seats. So that's because it was already full by the time I bought my ticket. So the woman in front of me, she had her phone on for probably 15 minutes, and then also in front of me, but to the right, he had his phone on checking his bank account. That's how much I saw, is that he had Bank of America. I didn't complain anything, even though I really wanted to go out and strangle all three of them. For all I know, behind me was lit up like a Christmas tree. But anyway, that's my problem with seeing movies with a whole bunch of people, is that there's just no control over any of it. So I'd say overall the cast is very good. The writers on this, so this is from a book. This is an adaptation of a book. And I think that they maybe took the adaptation too literally. So it's written by 3 guys. You got 3 guys on this thing, and you can't get a good script out of this? So you got Ken Nolan, who did Black Hawk Down. Okay, Black Hawk Down was very good. But he also did Transformers Last Night, which was crap. And the third guy hasn't done anything, so I'm not even going to bring him up. Then you got Gary Spinelli, obviously Italian. He did American Made. So, but he's only done he's done 3 films and 1 episode of television. So you don't have a whole lot of experience behind these guys. But again, this movie was, I mean, at very least, with the amount of globe trotting they had to do, at least $50 million. At least, if not more. So you have Rami Malek in here, but I don't think he's that expensive. You have Rachel Brosnahan, who's about to be Lois Lane. And you have everybody else is kind of on the low end, except for Laurence Fishburne. Of all the people, Laurence Fishburne is probably the most well-known. And the guy's got to be like 70 years old, and he's doing fight scenes. Wow, man. I don't know. I'm sure that they brought in a replacement for him as far as stunts was concerned, but still he had to initiate the fight. He had to do parts of it because you didn't see his face. And he still moves around pretty nimbly, so good for him. I hope I'm as agile as him when I get his age. And then John Bernthal was in it for 2 scenes, man. 2 scenes. Another name in here, which you may not recognize, but you'll recognize what she's from, and that's Catriona Balfe, who is from Outlander and Belfast. She was originally a model. I don't know if anybody ever knew that, but she was like an underwear type model, bikini model. She went into acting, and her acting is really freaking good, man. For coming from a modeling background into acting, she's really good. Because she has the American accent I guess she has some of a British accent in Outlander because I think they came from London, but I think she was American to some degree. I think she came from London to America or something to that effect. And so she has a somewhat American accent in Outlander. And then in Belfast, she had a completely different accent. And then I was watching her in this movie, and I'm like, damn, I recognize that face. Where is she from? And then when I realized it was Outlander, I was like, oh my God, she cut her hair, so her hair is like a bob now. And then on top of that, she had a Russian accent. Good for her, man. Anyway, she's only in a few scenes, but she's very good in those scenes. I thought that she really moved the film along. I thought, and I thought that his chemistry with her was actually better than the chemistry with Rachel Brosnahan. I believe that they could have had a relationship. Good for her, man. She's really, really, really good. And then I wanted to bring up the other guy. So there's two CIA agents. One guy who's playing more, Holt, McCallaghan, and he always plays those roughnecks guys. He was really good. He's always good. Once I saw him on the screen, I knew he was good. And then Danny Asapani. And I was looking at him like, I know this guy. So those two, the CIA guys, they're directors of the CIA, and they're both in scenes together for the most part, and they're trying to track him and stuff like that. But he was just in Ministry of Ungentle Warfare, and he played one of my favorite characters in there. He was the head of the pirates in there. Good stuff there. Here, he didn't really have much to work with. He's just a regular guy. There's nothing special about him, where they really gave him a great role, I thought, in Ministry. I thought that it was really good. The only person I thought was miscast was Julianne Nicholson. She played a director, basically the boss of Holt's character. And it's so fine to have a woman in that role, but it's not like M, when characters like female characters come off like that, they demand respect. When you have some really good female actors in playing the boss roles, like Tia Leone, playing in Madam Secretary, stuff like that, they demand their respect when they walk in the room, right? She didn't. She just could not pull that off. And I think that was also detrimental. They could have gotten any other person to play that role. I think they could have narrowed it down a little further. I don't know how they ended up picking her, but I didn't buy her. But anyway, so this story is not an action movie at all. Almost all the action pieces you've seen are in the trailer. That's it. So he's an analyst. He is trying to find his wife's murderer, but the bosses don't want him involved at all. And he ends up blackmailing them to have Laurence Fishburne's character, Henderson, train him. And just like you see in the trailer, he's untrainable except for explosives. So he learns how to play with explosives, and that ends up being so much the rest of the film, for the most part. Balf's character, he's communicating with her, so she's like the woman behind the computer, basically. But it's too slow. It's just for what it is, it's just too slow. It's a slow burn. All we're seeing is him on a computer trying to piece things together until he goes out in the field. And then when he goes out in the field, it just doesn't. It feels like a TV show. That's the problem. It's that the angles that are used. He's basically he's directing it like a TV show, and I think that it's a big problem. So when you watch it, you'd be like, why is this so slow? Why is there no dynamic to any of it? And he directed it like a drama television show. Instead of trying to really get into even the car chase and stuff like that, it's bad. The directing is awful. You have these really, really great actors throughout all of this, and there's no dynamic to any of it. There's just nothing that, like the movie that I saw yesterday, Luckiest Man in America, that pulled me in way, way more for less money than this one did. I mean, the guy had so many tools to play with here, and it just falls flat. The whole movie just falls flat. And it's unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. Anyway, when you see it, you'd let me know what you think. But yeah, I mean, this is for what it is, for what it could have been, this is a disappointment. This is a major disappointment. I hope it does well in the theater, but for me, it was a disappointment. For me, this is like a 5. So it's unfortunate, man. Because the acting is good. Then they're globe trotting, which is where most of the money went, I'm sure, because they're in like all over Europe. And then I don't know if they're on a ship. I mean, they're all locations are all over the place, and it just didn't translate. It just didn't translate. All right, well, that's it for me. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news if you're looking forward to this film. Just know what you're walking into before you do, because I was expecting, something a little bit more adrenaline-based than zero. Because we've seen the glass break on the pool so many times in the trailer. They show it again in the beginning of the film when Rami Malek comes out and says, "Thank you for coming." So when you get to that scene, we've seen it already. It's like, that's probably the best scene of the film, and it's, again, just whatever. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy it if you go. Remember to give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you can, and if you can't subscribe, please do. Share this video out there. And on top of that, if you'd like to read anything that I've written, just go to Amazon.com and put my name in. All right? Thanks a lot, guys, and let me know in the comment section how you guys feel about it. All right? Thanks for watching, guys. All right, bye.